Subscribe first, because stories like this aren't just entertainment. They're lessons disguised as chaos. And believe me, this one is going to hit hard. My name is Jason, and I thought I had already faced nearly every kind of insult and betrayal life could throw at me, until that night. The party was meant to be simple. A handful of friends, drinks, music, and some laughs. Nothing major. But nothing good ever really begins at a small party, does it? She was there, my girlfriend Vanessa. We had been together almost 4 years. Calm, composed, attractive, and sharp when she chose to be. That night, though, Vanessa decided to show everyone exactly how little respect she had for me. It began quietly. Small comments. Subtle jabs. I brushed them off. Then it escalated. Someone asked her about me in front of the group, and that's when it happened. "You know," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "dating Jason was a mistake." The room went still. Her words hung in the air, sharp, deliberate, cutting through the chatter like a blade. I felt a flash of embarrassment, but it passed quickly because something became clear. She wasn't joking. She wasn't being sarcastic. She was publicly declaring that I was beneath her. She wanted laughs. She wanted shock. Most of all, she wanted to humiliate me. I smiled slowly, calmly, letting the silence stretch. "Is that really how you feel?" I asked quietly, my tone pulling every eye toward me. Vanessa's smirk wavered for just a moment. "Well, everyone knows," she replied. I leaned forward, meeting her gaze, and spoke clearly enough for the entire room to hear. "You may think I'm a mistake, Vanessa, but the truth is I'm the one who stood by you, supported you, and didn't walk away when others did. That makes me the standard. And if anyone here wants to know what loyalty, patience, and integrity look like, they can watch me right now." The room fell silent. People shifted, uncomfortable, not expecting that response. Vanessa's friends exchanged glances, realizing instantly that the dynamic had changed. Her smirk disappeared completely. She hadn't expected to be confronted, especially not with truth instead of anger or ridicule. In that moment, I knew the night was no longer about a party. It was about setting the record straight, reclaiming my space, and proving that respect isn't given, it's earned. Vanessa blinked, momentarily speechless, as the room absorbed my words. The laughter she had hoped for never came. Instead, I felt the full weight of everyone's attention. Eyes moved between us, and the energy in the room shifted. She tried to recover with a shaky laugh. "Oh, come on, Jason. I was just joking. Don't take it so seriously," she said, her voice slightly unsteady. I shook my head, calm and controlled. "That wasn't a joke. Not even close. Calling someone a mistake in front of their friends isn't harmless. Words like that reveal far more about the speaker than the person they're aimed at." The tension thickened. Her friends whispered among themselves, realizing she had misjudged the situation completely. She had expected backup, laughter, or indifference. Instead, she was met with clarity, composure, and undeniable presence. I continued, softly but with intent. "I've made mistakes in my life, Vanessa. But standing here, owning my truth and protecting my dignity, that isn't one of them. That's a choice. And some lessons only come the hard way." Her face flushed, her eyes dropping to the floor before returning to mine. I could see the internal struggle, the part of her that thrived on control and drama now shrinking under the spotlight she had wanted to command. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. My calm certainty spoke louder than any argument. People noticed. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. Even those who had been neutral leaned in, sensing the shift in power. Then I delivered the final point. I looked around and said, "And for anyone who thinks this is just drama, remember, respect is free only until you waste it. After that, it comes with a price." Tonight, Vanessa learned what that price is. Silence followed. Even the music seemed to fade as she processed what had just happened. The party had changed. What was supposed to be a casual gathering had turned into a lesson in humility, exposure, and consequence. I stood there calm, collected, unaffected by the whispers, awkward glances. I wasn't angry. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was simply making it clear that respect isn't optional and dignity can't be mocked without consequences. The rest of the night carried a tense, charged energy that Vanessa couldn't control. She forced smiles, joined conversations, and acted as if nothing had happened. But it rang hollow. Her friends whispered, casting glances her way, realizing she had completely misread the situation. I moved through the party naturally, letting silence and attention do the work. Sometimes confrontation doesn't require yelling or anger. Sometimes quiet composure is far more powerful. That night, that power belonged to me. A few minutes later, one of her friends leaned in and whispered, "You really shut her down." I nodded slightly, letting the comment settle. It wasn't about showing off. It was about drawing boundaries, reclaiming respect, and letting truth outweigh mockery. Vanessa's attempts to laugh it off became more forced. Every effort to regain control failed because the dynamic had shifted entirely. She could no longer manipulate the room or shape the narrative. The smirk that once protected her had become her weakness. Then came the final moment. As I prepared to leave, I leaned toward her and spoke softly but clearly. "Next time, think before turning someone into a joke. Respect isn't optional. It's earned. And when it's taken for granted, consequences follow." Her eyes widened. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. The room had already absorbed the lesson. Everyone who had witnessed the insult now understood what had changed. The balance of power had shifted, and she knew it. I walked out calmly, without looking back. There was nothing left to prove. The truth had done its work, and karma had taken over. By confronting her with dignity and clarity, I had corrected the narrative in front of everyone without losing my composure. Weeks later, friends told me Vanessa stopped mocking people in public. She no longer tried to humiliate others, and even her friends admitted she had finally learned a lesson about boundaries. Some people think revenge has to be loud, angry, or dramatic. But the most effective correction is quiet, precise, and undeniable. That night, in front of everyone, I proved it. Respect matters. Dignity matters.